destroy the world or something.
Yes, that's where we were. I don't know if other people were had interested in other ideas. Well, no, I don't know that the apparatus wanted to destroy the world. Just
I'll see.
I
I'm
I
gonna
might
like
bring the
adapt the
sway.
apparatus to 3.0.
There you go.
So we've got an apparatus, and then what was the other thing that wanted to
Empath.
destroy?
Empath.
Empath. Okay. Cool.
I don't know if other people wanted to do that or something different, but that's
Yeah,
where
what
I
are
was
people-
leaning.
Were you thinking empath, Alex?
I was.
Ah,
Then it's also so scary to play. I was looking at the catabolist as well.
Nice.
And you can choose one of the newer playbooks too if you want. The newer playbooks are like lower cognitive load, I would say, but you can pick whatever you want. There's lots.
What are the newer ones? Like the ones at the bottom?
The cascade
Like the on
ones.
about?
They're green. If you open up the playbooks, instead of red, they're green. That's how you'll know.
Can't see any green ones on here. Try another link.
Oh, it's a separate file.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Crap, no one's playing the onomastic.
Oh, that's fine. Did
No,
you read the starter yet? Did you cheat?
Oh shit! I wasn't supposed to read it.
Well,
I read it, and I read it thinking I was supposed to read it.
Oh, no, I think I wrote, we're going to use the starter, so don't read it.
Oh shit! I forgot. I'm sorry.
That's all good.
Uh,
That's funny, though.
yeah.
Alright, I might sit on the catabolist.
Okay.
So we have
Nice.
what goes well with the catabolist, the apparatus, and the empath.
Whatever you want. I would say probably not the wayward. What else is there? The architect is slottable into pretty much anything.
Yeah.
I will note I have never played this before.
Can I read it attached?
Yeah, if you want to. Just
Sure,
please
I'll
don't
read it.
have like a wolf companion that is a dog or whatever, or that
No.
is a cyberized dog.
Actually, I was thinking because I cheated and I read the thing without because I completely forgot I wasn't supposed to. I wanted an iconoclast as my object.
As your object. Oh, okay.
But no, I can do something else. Let me think. I've already played the dying. I don't want to play the dying again.
I love the
Or the
dying.
honed. What?
My
yeah.
apparatus and the dying are like my favorites. Because they're sad as hell.
Yeah, because that's the saddest.
Yes, because you die.
How sad can I make it?
Yeah. This one's pretty good, but I wish it was a little bit more sad.
Okay, I'll be attached to my robot waifu.
Waifu.
That's what I'm attached to, right?
Apparently.
Okay.
The attached is pretty popular, actually. It's pretty interesting how popular it is.
Yes.
Feel
Yeah, I
like
think
people are like, it's a ranger? I gotta do
I
that.
think I've played the Veil 3 times, and like 2 out of 3 times it wasn't attached.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
popular.
I actually haven't been in like the 2 games I've been in. Neither of them had the attached, which is odd considering what you just said.
I think every game I've ever played has had one, to be honest. But we'll see. Let's see. What else would be good for the setting? Or is everybody settled then, actually? Everyone's picked then, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes.
Okay, well, that was easy. I don't have to do much. Okay. And in roll 20, oh, Maria was here. Nice. Okay, so just claim any one of the player or 1, 2, 3, and edit that for what you want. It should be pretty straightforward. But let's go over touchstones too. What do people want in the game specifically? What are they interested in exploring? What what visual touchstones do people have for Cyberpunk that they would like to incorporate into it?
Honestly, I'm like you in fantasy, in which I know nothing about. So you could throw me with anything, and I'll play along, I guess.
Well, everyone's seen like Ghost in a Shell and like Akira and like
I
stuff
haven't
like
seen
that.
any of those.
Okay.
Wah, wah.
Well, what about like the Matrix? Right? Everyone's seen the Matrix.
I have not. I am so deprived.
What is happening right now?
Like I said, you can throw me anything and I'll just roll with it because I can because I haven't seen anything.
We'll try to free your mind, Maria.
Because when I played the Valve first time, I was like, I don't know anything, and then
Everybody
it
knows
was
the
fine.
Matrix, though.
Except Maria.
Yeah. I'm gonna fuck with you, Maria.
I mean, you're not throwing the Pokemon tamer, right?
Yeah. Okay, what about Alex? What about you?
Me. You mean like what's my experience so far?
Or what cyberpunk do you like and would like to see in this fiction?
Oh.
Near Automata. You
There's always no Automata.
You want,
That has been my life for like the past 3 weeks.
you want a pastel to beat up on?
I don't know, like the first thing that comes to mind when I think cyberpunk is like massive sprawling cities, kind of like Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah. Blade Runner's a good yeah, Blade Runner. Maria, have you seen Blade Runner? What the fuck? Okay. Well, I think Maria is purposely avoiding cyberpunk now. So you want like a massive sprawling city type area, like an urban area?
Yeah, I mean sounds good to me. If everyone else is cool with that.
Sure.
Okay. Lauren?
Yeah, I guess likewise. I guess I think Cyberpunk and I think like Shadowrun, but my Shadowrun experience is like
Excellent
Steam
Shadowrun.
games.
X card Shadowrun.
My X card Shadowrun as well, please.
All right, no Shadowrun.
Just as an aesthetic.
No Shadow.
No, like I don't like the aesthetic. That's exactly what I don't like about
Oh,
Shadowrun.
okay. Well, Steve, then you do
fuck
know
that then.
cyberpunk.
Yeah, well, kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, but what from
no
Shadowrun do you like?
sprawling urban setting that is in shadow. What?
Okay, so you like is what like a lot of what is appealing to people who like Shadowrun is that it's like a retro future as well, right? So is that the kind of aesthetic you like, or just the fact that it's like a sprawling city and it's in the future? And
I
it's
guess
kind of
it's
dystopic?
like sprawling urban city. Like I don't. Yeah, I'm pretty open to any visual references as far as setting goes.
Okay, like Shadowrun, for instance, in the first iteration of it didn't have.
I feel so bad for saying Shadowrun now. My ex got Shadowrun.
Well, retro future to me is just really funny, right? Because it's like they got so many things wrong. Like in Neuromancer, the book that made, cyberpunk cases like walking, and there's still payphones everywhere, right? So, for instance, what about you, Shane?
That's a good question. I mean, it's been a while. I mean, other than 2049, it's been a while since I've had much contact with this stuff. I mean, my cyberpunk touchstones are like the original, like the old school stuff, like the all the William Gibson stuff, and obviously Blade Runner and Akira and Ghost in the Shell.
Obviously, Maria. Obviously.
No. I mean, for me and my time period, my age,
My time period.
whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
So those are all like kind of touchstone things that I think of.
I mean, we can definitely lean into Blade Runner 2049, it sounds like, right? Like, Alex and Lauren's stuff is definitely in the same, like, simpatico with Blade Runner 2049 and Blade Runner, the
Sure.
existing one. And also the setting kind of the adventure starter that we're using would definitely work with Blade Runner. Because there's like nanostorms outside, and there's a lot of fucking dust in Blade Runner 2049. Let me tell you, this time though, they will kill you because they're nanostorms, so it's all good.
No, I'm down with that. That's really cool.
Cool.
Can I add
Cool.
some like cultural touchstones as well? Because like I guess I
Yeah.
differentiate between like the visual touchstones and then like the cultural touchstones. Which is like humans. I mean, I guess particularly something like apparatus, but like that kind of you as an individual struggling against the system kind of thing, like that, all that jazz. I'm really excited to explore.
Are you
Yeah.
are you a replicant?
Maybe I don't know yet.
Are we
We'll
having
find out.
replicants?
And like humans, I'm assuming no one else has seen. But I think humans is like my strongest like cyberpunk reference in terms of culture, which I feel hesitant to spoil.
I don't know what this is, so it would.
Which is well, like the premise is like near future, like people have got like robot helpers around nowadays, but they're real creepy and like will do whatever you want and stuff. And alert happens. But like you find out that they're just like repressed people. Like it's just they're pretty much like they do have a personality and like a humanness to them, but it's been repressed. And so that sort of like is unlocked as the story goes on, and they like stuff about their situation, and it's that kind of thing.
Yeah, like they have like a specific virus kind of thing that happens where they gain their like sentience and intelligence, and then those people kind of are like the rebels that go over and like infect other people. So it's like freeing their minds, right? And that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Except that they're freeing the AI from their menial task duties usually. Yeah, it's a very
really
good show.
good. Yeah, it's hard to find though.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe what we're looking for is a Blade Runner prequel to Blade Runner then, right? Like if like we haven't hit the point in the Blade Runner sort of timeline when people are going off colonies. Instead, replicants have just became like kind of ubiquitous, right? They aren't shipped off world for like slave labor and stuff like that. They're just like a newer technology that's used primarily for entertainment purposes.
I assume then what we're going to definitely have some pretty large amounts of social stratification, because
Yeah.
I think that's really kind of what the whole off-world colonies was like. All the rich people were like, we don't want all this filth, so we're going to go elsewhere.
Yeah,
Kind of
well,
a little battle angel-ish as well.
yeah, well, and we'll have the stratification simply by the existence of the apparatus as well. Because essentially, just having that playbook means that at least one of these robots is sentient,
Right.
and essentially are like possibly subjugated, depending on what Lord's story ends up being.
Sure.
But yeah, I think in general, in cyberpunk, there's always need to be high tech, low life. So I think there's going to be varying degrees of how well people live and for like how they make their money. Usually, it's higher money as you are associated with contributing to the stratification of class as well. Like you work for a corporation or whatever. And but yeah, we can find that out as we go. I think as a rough as a rough template though, let's start with that. Let's start with like Blade Runner prequel, but with the aesthetic of 2049, I think. So no off-world craziness and whatnot. It's probably like 50, 60 years in the future or something like that, instead of like hundreds of years with
Right.
with huge pyramids as buildings of corporations and such.
But we're probably moving that direction, though.
Yeah, exactly. So use that in mind while you build your characters then. And how I usually have people be put together is their jam. But we're doing like a longer series, so if people want sort of disparate timelines or that intersect later on instead of right now, that's completely fine with me. Like in a one shot, I'd basically be like, y'all know each other and this is what's happening. But in a long enough timeline, we can do like stories that intersect in a while instead of right now, if you want. We still have obligation / Geary questions to ask each other, so you guys will have known each other in some way, but you don't have to use all of the questions for every single person. You could just do the ones that apply to you and what you want your story to be like.
Awesome.
Or you could
I
just
mean,
Oh,
custom one.
I have
What?
a question.
Mm-hmm.
How dark are we going?
Yeah,
That's a valid
that's
question.
true. Yeah. What tone do people want? Blade Runners in general pretty dark.
Yeah.
I feel
Okay,
like
cool.
if Shane is the empath and I'm the apparatus, it's gonna get pretty fucking dark.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. I can have a kinky relationship with my object. Yes, please.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Cool.
Do your
I don't
thing.
know. I don't know if kinky is dark, right?
Yeah.
No, but like
Depends on how.
creepy at least.
Depends on the kink, probably.
Depends on the
Yeah.
kink. Yeah.
Okay, you'll have to guide me here, though. I haven't read 50 Shades of Grey, so. Although it did come in the mail.
Oh yeah, it did.
What, Lauren?
Oh man. Okay. I have to like.
So
Oh,
are
and-
the sheets supposed to have like kind of autofill anything, or am I having to just kind of type stuff in and whatnot?
I don't think it autofills. I haven't really
Nah.
used these sheets other than at Gauntlet Con. I think
Gotcha.
it is just like you choose your playbook, and I think maybe you'll get a menu or two extra depending on if you need it for your playbook. But
Mhm.
otherwise, I think you just like copy and paste.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure. And if you want to change the color of your sheet, you just click on the colored buttons on the top left corner by the veil. Like each button is like a little sheet that is a different color.
Oh
Which is
my
kind of
goodness,
cool.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Hey Alex,
Yeah?
did you see the names of the apparatus?
Why?
Not.
2V and 9S. That's
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. I have some.
So which one are you being?
I'm missing something completely.
I was kind of doing.
It's from the
Oh.
video game Nier Automata.
Okay.
Two of the characters' names from that game are selections in the apparatus playbook as like a throwback or whatever, or
A callback.
yeah, to the game.
Shout out.
That
Here's a shout out.
only shout out. That only people that would have played the game would have seen. Otherwise,
I
it
haven't
just
played
looks
the game
like.
and I know what it's about.
I feel like I saw like a few more of those elsewhere.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be some stuff in there.
Okay, so I need to find. Okay.
Now I need to pick tags for the object. So
Yep.
Kinky.
Yeah.
that is my tag.
So, okay. I am doing what now? Right. Okay.
Yeah. So just go
Intimate.
through. Make sure that you
Sorry.
make sure that you get up to the point of obligations, and then we'll go from there. If you don't want to choose your starting move right away, you don't have to. Sometimes I like to just pick it while I'm in play, right? I'll be like, that one makes sense for right now, so I'm going to pick it.
Okay, so look.
Cybernetics, sometimes people get confused by that. You can have as many cybernetics as you want, but you have to have a negative tag for each cybernetic that you have. That is just like putting in a negative tag. Like if it was Dungeon World and you had a sword or whatever, and the negative tag was breakable, and you rolled a 6-, I would say, shit, your sword's broke, right? It's a similar thing. So don't be like dissuaded from having cyberware just because you have to make a negative tag for it.
Let's see. Is there a obligation moves? I'm trying to think if there's a list of. Is there a list of? There we go. Technological tags. Fantastic.
Yeah, near the bottom there. I think LOL even made more, like a lot more.
So the tags for the object that I have to pick.
Yeah.
Are they from like the entire list or just technological tags?
Oh, whatever you want.
Okay, cool.
I think the only restriction is damage wise, right? You can't have like, where is it?
5 5 harm.
Yeah, you can't just like put it all into damage and be like, I'm gonna kill you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put no more than 3 tags toward inflicting harm. So
Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
and look.
There's probably. Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna probably do like Jason did with We Hunt the Keepers and build this out into like a series, probably. And cross our fingers, like next month when I put it up, I'll give everyone a shout just in case they want to come back and reprise the character. But I might also have a working draft of the 3rd book, and we might do some playtesting of that as well, which is the Veil Inheritance, is what it's called.
What is the
what?
what's the what's the elevator pitch for that one?
So you'll take your characters from Cascade and put them even more in the future, and it'll be like a transhumanist one. So if you've read Altered Carbon, it'd be like that, where humanity has like colonies, and you can like needle cast your identity into like different bodies across the cosmos and stuff. But the main primary design goal is to ask the question what humanity is, whereas Cascade is to ask the question what identity is. So I think in the 3rd one, you'll be primarily like very technological in nature for humanity, and you'll find your like humanness in interactions with technology instead of the reverse right now.
Can't wait.
Mm-hmm. And Altered Carbon is like one of my favorite novels, so I'm pretty stoked for that. Let's see. So we've got an apparatus attached, empath. Cool. No one ever picks the Honed. I'm kind of sad about it,
I
to be
picked him
honest.
last time. I'm not gonna pick him again.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
The Honed is awesome, mostly just because I love the touchstone from it. The Data Runner book by Sam Patel is like amazing. It's very good fiction. In it, there's like a There's like a guy who lives in sort of like marginalized society who has to become a data runner to pay for college, and he
Oh, cool.
has to like the way that they do it is they put a implant in him that's subdermal over this high-tech tattoo essentially that is like of a bird, and every data runner has a different picture of a bird or whatever. Like there's their code name too is like albatross and all that kind of stuff, and they have to like just use parkour and shit to get around to physically bring data because in the future, of course, you can't transmit that shit. People will just grab it. So it is a very good book. I recommend it.
Put on the list.
Mm-mm. And another one that no one picks either is The Seeker. But I guess that's a lot of work as well. So I could see that.
I thought about it. I just have Alex, like you've ruined faith characters for me because all I can think about now is when we like burnt down a forest to appease our faith.
Is that when you became an acorn?
That was pre-Acorn. I was a paladin and Alex was a cleric, and it was like the worst fucking combination of bad people ever. And
The Acorn was
Stabs
our attempt to make like a lighter version of what we did, and everyone ended up dying.
Well, I'm just waiting for somebody to be the seeker and for their religion to be like capitalism.
Oh,
oh, that's so good.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Good God.
Next time.
Okay.
Oh, and if people need character visual ideas, I put the link of the Pinterest in the chat as well. I have many, many pins.
Yes, you do. I didn't need. Why did I do that?
Jam. What is my jam?
Yeah, I still need to figure that one out too. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Don't worry, we'll figure it out.
What is everyone thinking for their jam?
Do people want to be like a team or something? It kind of seems like if we're being Blade Runner-y, you could even do like a almost human thing, and somebody could be like hunting replicants, and then like their partner could be a replicant / lord. That would be funny. Or yeah,
That'd be pretty great.
I don't know how much use. I don't know how much use I'm going to be in that.
an empath.
Yeah.
Hunting replicas. I think you'd be pretty good at it, right?
Oh, I guess that's true. Oh, look, no emotions on this one. All right.
Yeah. Well, that would be an interesting thing to.
I guess that's true.
To see if like maybe they do have emotions, and then you're like hunting these people that everybody says are subhuman, but feel, right?
I am going to be a researcher, I think, in this division, I guess. If that's okay with everyone.
Sure. So we're going for like a Section 9 type thing, like everyone's part of a specific division in some way or another, or attached to one or something.
I'm thinking like we're like a squad, and each squad has their own researcher, their own like big guy that shoots things, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Does that make sense at all?
Lauren, are you still here? Nope. She's gone.
Bye.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Alex, are you down for that? To be on like the same squad?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Cool. And Lauren, are you
My character is incredibly vague at the moment, so you may need to give me some time for
Yeah, I'm still trying to
Working
figure
things
some
out.
things out.
Sure.
How do can you talk to me a little bit about cybernetics?
Sure. So cybernetics, you what are you again? The
Empath.
empath. So on your sheet there, you see how it says like I 3 tags, ear 3 tags, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, let's say an I cybernetic, you're gonna go to the technological list of tags, choose 3, and then choose 1 negative tag. You can choose from the 6 down there, or you can just make your own, depending on how you want the I to work. So tags are just fictional positioning. So if you want, like, think about what you want your cybernetic eyes to be able to do, and then choose the tags for that. So if you want to be like Bateau or something, then you would say like magnifying, multispectrum, and maybe like encrypted or something, so people can't hack your eyes or something like that, right?
Jesus.
And then what the whatchamacallit, the negative tag would be twitchy, unreliable, or something like that, because they always have to get their stuff tuned up in Ghost in the Shell, right?
Right.
And you can have as many of those as you want, but yeah, if there's a miss comes up and I'm struggling to think of interesting things in the fiction, I might just ask you what your negative tag is.
And hose that.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know how you like your eyes? That's too bad. They're offline. You didn't pay your bills, man.
Do you like seeing?
Yeah. Which eye do you like better, the left eye or the right eye?
Yeah.
How are you? How is everybody else doing? Anyone else need some help on something?
I think I'm good. I'm gonna leave the emotion I start with and some of my look until I get a summary of everyone else's characters. I think specifically Shane, just because I feel like the empath and the apparatus are probably gonna have the relationship at the start of the game, and I think the empath situation might dictate a bit of where I want to go with it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially since you're like partners.
Yeah,
We're probably going to be partners anyway. Have you seen anyone seen Almost Human, by the way? Because that was some good shit. No? Yeah. Okay.
Wah,
Carl,
wah.
Oh, I've seen
Yeah.
Almost Human and
You
Humans.
you've seen both?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what's up.
Yes. Yeah.
Almost Human is a show in which Carl Urban is a police officer, and they are like mandated by law to have these helper robots with them to do tasks, so their lives aren't in danger, essentially, and to like the robot records everything, and there's like posterity things going on, but essentially he hates robots, so he gets landed with a partner who is like essentially looks and acts more human, and that's why their model was scrapped in the past, because they were like too emotional on the job. So it's a very good show.
Plus, like, Carl Urban trying to maintain an American accent is like hilarious to me because he's a Kiwi.
Yeah, sometimes he's a little slippy uppy on that one.
Yeah.
And you could totally tell it.
Yeah.
You could totally tell it got canceled too soon too, because they were like, "Oh, he has a love interest now." That like the show's over, and you're like, "Oh, guess that didn't happen."
Yeah.
Alex, how are you doing? Do you need help with your concept or anything like that? Is it still
I think I'm
shades of
working it
grey?
out very slowly. I had a question about the emotions, though.
Yeah, I would love to hear how this all works, because I have I have lots of moves that are in that.
Yeah, so the way that it works in the Veil is anytime you trigger any kind of move, it'll say either roll, which means roll with whatever emotion that you want, or it'll say roll plus something, and then you use the modifier, and you still, after that point, still add a emotional tick, which is those little boxes underneath the emotions. There's 5 on each one. You see that?
Yeah.
And every time you roll with one or add one in there, you're going to mark it. And the ones with boxes around them, mad, peaceful, sad, joyful, scared, powerful, when you roll with the opposite one, you can remove one from the other one. So if, let's say I rolled a move and used scared, I'd add a little pip to that one. But then the next time I rolled with powerful, I'd remove the one from scared and add the one with powerful. If you don't mitigate it like that, they'll build up. And when they build up, it means you're feeling the emotion more powerfully. And a move triggers called Alleviate, which is essentially like you're maxed out on that emotion. And essentially, think of it as like Monster Hearts. You get a condition that pertains to the emotion that you're dealing with when you max it out, or spike it out is what it's called. And then you have to try to get rid of that condition.
Okay. So when we're like creating our characters, what would a certain number in something represent? Like, would 2 and powerful say we're good at feeling powerful, or would it be like it's what we're used to personally?
You can use any kind of context you want, really, but know that when you're, if you put a 2 in something, know that when you're feeling that way, things tend to go your way, right?
I see.
So,
I see.
you could use it as like your default emotion, like, or you could use it as like, I know that when I am powerful, for instance, I know that I can like deal with my shit the like best way that is possible, that kind of thing. Like if you're a sniper or whatever and you put it in powerful or you put it in scared, the difference would be like maybe your emotion is rooted in scared when you learned how to snipe or whatever, and so by conquering that fear every time, you give the fictional positioning of being able to use that emotion every time you snipe or whatever. It's all however you want to envision your character. Because when you trigger a move and I ask you what you're feeling, it's completely subjective to you. I'm not going to be like, "Are you sure you're not scared?" So, yeah, just however you want to do it. You could view it in a way of like a D&D thing, like I am most effective when I am powerful, or you could say like my default emotion is powerful.
Right. Okay. Sweet ass. Thank you.
And yeah, Shane, at first it seems intimidating, but it's pretty intuitive once you get into it. It's hard to explain how easy it is.
All right, that's fair. I will roll with it.
What was so odd for me was playing the apparatus the first time and then playing a different playbook and going, I have all these emotions I could use now.
Yeah. At least now with the version 2 of the empath, you have a little bit more leeway on how to use it, Shane. The first one is literally interrogating like how consent matters, but people didn't get that very well sometimes. So I added a
wow, really?
Yeah, so I had to, well, I didn't have to, but I added the consent portion of it to make sure it was a lot more clear, and then I made it so that the moves sort of weren't like stifling you into trying to get your it used to be that the only way you could get flow was from absorbing people, and so I got reports of players who would just be like, I'm going to absorb them without their consent then. And
Yeah.
so it's like, okay, but like make sure that you know that you're being shitty if you do that.
What
So
is well? I can neither confirm nor deny that my plan is to be just a horrible, horrible person.
yeah, well, the nice thing is now you have shouldering the burden, so you can say specifically what you're about and get flow for it, and then I can adjudicate that to the player and be like, well, it's on you now.
I like the consent thing. That was a neat addition.
Yeah. I think overall it's a better playbook for it.
I think I'm good. I think I have most of my stuff done, and then there's a little bit that I'll figure out once, I guess, we're getting ready to talk characters.
Okay. Well, do you wanna tell people so they can riff off you if they need to? No.
So so my internet cut out a bit because it was like you can either have Hangouts or you can download an image.
Okay. Rough day.
But so it's it sounds like there's like replicant hunting going on, or like
we'll see if we'll see if that's a theme that you guys want to explore. But it seems like for sure you guys are a part of a team. Maria's character is going to be a researcher, and probably you guys are going to be like the like duo or perhaps trio that go in and might be like the ones that deem what is happening with these people that you're hunting for or something. It doesn't have to be particularly like Blade Runner where you're like, we're going to go retire them or whatever. Maybe it's like a case by case basis, or maybe we say that's what you do, but the fiction isn't like the camera isn't on you when you're doing that thing. It's about your actual like slice of life thing instead. So we'll see.
Neat.
By
I
the
guess
way,
to that, like,
I'm a researcher, but I can fight, so I can join in fights if any happen. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to. Go ahead.
All
Nice.
the players are pretty like
Competent.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
okay.
you don't have to
Ooh,
like sit around in a cyber bubble or anything.
Okay, good.
You can
So
be
I'm not. Oh wait, we started the shadow run, so I'm not the hacker there who's doing all the hacking things while everyone else is doing all the good shit.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but the real like hacker of the game is the denotation, which means that you have to physically be doing shit in this game.
Which is good, yes.
Yeah, not the. It's sort of the opposite of that one.
Yes.
For a reason.
For a good reason.
Yeah.
I guess to that end, I've kind of gone. Yeah, I guess almost human is probably the best way to describe this character because
Mhm.
cyber eyes and cyber ears and stuff, so they can like record a bunch of stuff and think they. Oh, Shade, your dog's so adorable. Sorry.
That's okay. She is.
Oh, you have the recording eyes. Okay, I don't want them.
And I guess if we're sort of a team of people, I was thinking like an apparatus, but I might go for a powerful, confident one now because everyone loves a confident robot that doesn't get annoying.
Never.
Yeah. I was toying around with peaceful, but I did peaceful creepy robot last time, so I might do a annoying confident robot this time around, and then explore how they sadness and anger and happiness. So I guess that's the very vague apparatusy stuff I have going on in my brain.
Cool.
I'll find a way to get cigarettes in there, don't worry.
Yeah. Well, it's from Friends, right? When Chandler is trying to quit smoking.
Okay.
And he has to listen to those tapes or whatever when he's sleeping, and it's like, you're a strong, confident woman, and then he starts being effeminate, like, in the future. Anyway, all of my shit is pop culture references. I'm just a milieu of pop culture, so.
I'm ready for obligations / Kiri if
I am
and I can
feeling
help
behind.
I can help with stuff if you need to.
Why don't you tell us about your character then, Maria?
Okay, so my character is Arthur. My object is called Rebecca. It is odd because it's a whip looking thing. but also I am attached to it in this weird dynamic. Wink, wink.
Like, is it physically attached to you?
It can be. I
Okay.
have merged and I have the tags implanted and detachable. So
Okay. So is it like attached to you in a way that like it meets like it can be plugged into as like an umbilical cord or something or what?
oh, it
Kinky.
it can be used as a weapon. She
Hmm.
can be used as a weapon. And actually, I kind of have to use her as a weapon because it's the only way
I
I can
kind of
restore
have to.
harm. Because the harm it does sustains me.
Oh wow.
Uh,
Interesting dynamic.
and I gained her when I killed the former owner.
Oh.
And parted, I am myself and afraid.
So I'm getting kind of like a criminal vibe. So did Section 9 or whatever we're calling it, did they recruit you after they like caught you doing some bad shit or something and then they're like you can either go to jail or you can like come work for us.
Oh my god! Sorry, I'm just reading what she typed.
Section 9S, yeah.
Yes. I'm gonna say like we could, if you're okay with this, we could say that they actually were okay with it to begin with.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
Like they like whoever had it before was on their hit list, so me acquiring the object did matter too much for them.
Plus,
Okay.
it's such a criminal drama trope to be like, you're the bad person we need to do all the
Super
justice
duper.
things. You know, like
Yeah.
Super tropey.
It's true, but there's a certain amount of pleasure to get from invoking and subverting them, so we'll see.
True.
Okay, cool. So they don't care much how you do the thing. They're just like, do the thing now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, I wasn't really thinking about the criminal thing by the whole killing the former owner. It's just more like accidentally killing the former owner, and it's like, oh hey, now I have this fucking object attached to me that makes me want to kill more things.
Okay, well maybe we'll flesh that out more with the obligation questions,
Yeah.
and depending on what people's answers are.
My God.
Nice. We're so classy.
So I could use some suggestions on
Sure.
what would probably make sense with regards to other empath moves besides shouldering the burden. I'm gonna go with I'm never lost, so that automatically gives me search feelings, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So in addition to shouldering the burden and search feelings, I'm wondering what other things I should be. What other thing would be useful?
Well, it sounds like if you guys are hunting replicant type people, ease would be good, probably. Because then whenever you probe somebody, you could ask them, what do you wish you could tell someone? If I asked you to blank, how would you feel,
Yeah.
etc. But all of them are pretty useful.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think I think probably.
And you can always wait too, right? Like I said, if we get to a point in the fiction where like, damn, wish I had that move.
I guess
And
that's
that's when
true.
you pick it.
Okay, that might be a good idea since I already have the other two.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Oh, Maria, what's your cyber action?
Yeah, my cyber action, what?
Your
Cybernetics?
Yeah.
I have a damaging storage arm.
A damaging storage arm. How do you envision that?
Oh, it's more like an arm that I can put my object there, but it can damage me. So
Okay. Cool.
so
So
yeah,
it's stored within your own arm. So
yeah.
is it like one of those oh man, I can't even do pop culture with you because you've never seen anything. So does like your arm come apart in like a cool futuristic cybernetic way to
I think it just opens up like this, and then I grab the whip from there
Oh, okay.
or something like that.
Cool.
All right.
Oh, I need to say this before I forget, but I was thinking a lot about side robots this week. And I was thinking how much senses like smell and sound and stuff have such an impact upon like there are some songs that I just can't listen to because they bring back memories of like certain times and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I want to explore that with having like recording eyes and ears and stuff. So I think my robot's gonna spend some time like once they start feeling emotions, like hiding away in their robot quarters and like savoring these little memories.
Okay, so
Someone play the mnemologist, please.
you're gonna be like you're gonna be like listening to Dashboard Confessional for the first time in your bed.
Yeah.
Nice.
Multiclass into mnemologist later.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of moves to multi-class now. A lot. So Shane, just so everybody knows, in the Veil, like pretty much, it's very encouraged that you would multi-class. Pretty much all the playbooks have quite a few choices for multi-classing, and so you can really. That's one of the ways to like further customize the class you're in, so that people don't, the replayability is a factor, basically.
Gotcha.
And since they're all very like fairly big concepts within Cyberpunk, you can build your character in that way. Like you could have a Deckard who's an empath, etc.
Sorry, I'm doing cybernetic stuff now.
Cool. Alex, how's your character going?
Going pretty good. I think I finished everything but like beliefs and luck and jam.
All right, I have to do beliefs. I forgot about that.
Well, beliefs, generally, I would make them around the same time as obligations so that you can have them pointing at one another. That way you can grind out the XP nice. And plus, you shouldn't know, Maria, where the section is going. So. Yeah, beliefs being emergent is completely fine. A lot of the times, you might find that you're only going to be hitting on like one belief per game anyway. So having 3 is just more like, spray and pray.
Oh, I made 2 custom tags for my cybernetics.
Oh.
Yep. So I think I think one of them's really funny.
Okay.
Which is like, so my cyber eye says the tag obvious. So, if I'm staring people down or ogling people, it's gonna make them feel creepy. And then my cyber ears are sensitive.
Okay, and so those are the negative tags that you chose, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, interesting. Hamper yourself with a positive tag.
There is positive is a thing.
Okay, I'm gonna archive these other characters that you guys can't see, so I don't get confused.
How am I gonna do this?
Oops. Yeah. Oh, did you just modify your other character, Lauren?
Yeah, I just gutted all of the.
Okay, I was like, why is there a player
stuff.
1 still? Okay, I'm gonna delete player 1.
It's being good.
Yeah, I was like, what is that?
Player 1.
Cool.
No, I didn't. I said that wrong. No, I didn't. Okay.
I want to play Bina again. Bina was fun.
Well, you deleted her.
Sorry if I wasn't supposed to gut Bina. I feel bad now.
Oh, no worries. I just had player one there too, so that you could have both if you wanted.
Plus, I dig image I found on your Pinterest of like the person with the plug in the
Yeah,
back of their
you're glow in the dark. Turn off the lights and I glow.
It's gonna get pretty creepy in here.
Yeah.
Turning off the lights and stuff.
Is your favorite pulp culture song that eventually you'll get the emotion for Ice Ice Baby?
Yes.
All right.
I like to think that. Sorry.
What did you say?
Oh, I just thought I wonder if this person travels, you need to get like adapters and stuff to plug into the back of your neck for other country power plugs.
Yeah, I feel like in the future they might have solved that problem. I don't know. They're like, well, you're in Europe. I'm sorry, you can't have an Android here unless you get this adapter.
It's going to cost you way too much from the space airport.
Space airport, yeah. All right. Is either Shane or Alex ready to introduce?
I'm getting there. I need to. Let's see here. So, I mean, right now, let's see here. I'm Imani, femme, vintage wear, striking face, compelling eyes, wiry body, Middle Eastern. I have. I still haven't done the numbers yet. Cybernetics-wise, I have something in my chest that camouflages me, and I'm addicted to that.
Oh yeah.
Creeper.
Yeah.
Ears that do amplification, derma-linked and recording, and then eyes do magnification, HUD, and I still need to add negative tags to those guys as well.
Cool. For feelings as well, or for states, which is the stats of the emotions, you can always just fill those in as you go as well. I've had players where they're like, I don't really know this character so well yet, but during play, that's when they fill in their emotions. And of course, some people will power game it that way, but other people will just be like, it feels like this character would have these stats. So either way is cool.
I will also note that for my, for my burden, it is rip it all down and help it burn. There's nothing here worth saving anyways.
Yes! Sorry.
Well, Blade Runner does show a lot of post-capitalism. And Alex, how are you doing? Alex? How are you doing?
Am I still in the call? Things been a little shaky like the past few minutes. I missed all the character introduction. I'm sorry.
Oh, you missed all of it? Oh, okay.
I can reintroduce.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that would be useful because I was distracted by some things.
Okay. So I'm Imani. My look is femme, vintage wear, striking face, compelling eyes, wiry body, Middle Eastern. And my cybernetics are still in flux, but I have something in my chest that allows me to camouflage myself, but I'm addicted to it. I have ears with amplification, derma-linked and recording, eyes with magnification and heads-up display. My burden is rip it all down and help it burn. There's nothing here worth saving anyways. And I have shouldering the burden and also search feelings. I have the search feelings because for my flow, I am never lost. When I open myself to the flow, I can see emotions. You get the search feelings move.
And is that?
Nice.
Do you imagine that as like a technological thing or like or biological thing going on?
More biological, I think.
Okay. And are there other people out there like you in the world? Like, is this another stratification of class thing?
I don't know.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if that's a it may be that they are and my character doesn't know, or and we can leave that kind of up to as a question mark. Is another
Sure.
option.
Sounds good. Mhm.
I'm so friggin' excited for this game.
And Alex?
Alrighty, I think I've got it.
Okay, hit it.
So, my name is April. Fem sizable wear. I figured because I'm going to be doing like putting machines into me. Like I'd have like my soldier armor would have like removable parts. So like remove like the armbands to jam a watch in there or something. Scarred face. I figured for the Omni tool, it could be cool to have like at some point I got like a grievous wound and the section 9 picks me up and like replaced the part with a machine. And that's where I got the Omni tool from. So I figured this would be like, yeah, on my face. Something like face and throat. So to modify something, I'd like put it into my throat. Like part of the complete thing.
I'm so down with this. Totally down with this.
Then mysterious eyes, rough body, and Caucasian.
And what's
the ideology I went for.
What's your ideology as well?
What's that, sorry?
What's your ideology?
Ideology is humanity is a disease. Only the integration of cybernetics make we live.
Okay.
Holy fucking
Everyone hates people.
I feel like our section
Everything's fucked.
Everything's fucked.
And we're going to fuck it harder.
Yes.
So,
we're full of misanthropes.
Yeah.
By the way.
So I'm picturing Section 9 is probably not a part of a corporate structure then, probably, right? Like
Probably not.
Yeah, there's probably not a section of like, Biz Corp or whatever that's like, actually, we should just burn it all down. Like, so maybe you guys are like rebels in like some kind of organization or a cell, like the Resistance and Blade Runner 2049 or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That maybe I would like the idea if you still had sort of like resources like Section 9 though, like maybe you have fake Section 9 badges and stuff like that, right? Like you still act as a police force and the people sort of like hear rumblings of your movement, but you're like under the radar and impersonate agencies as needed, right? Like if you were on a scene of a domestic crime or whatever, you would have badges for police. If you're on the scene of like, a federal crime, you'd be like, here's my FBI badge, that kind of thing, right? Is that what you guys are thinking too? Or
and then when we go into Cascade, we can actually impersonate the FBI agents.
yeah.
So this is kind of like rebel group off the books, kind of like not official work.
Or you could be a part of an organization in another country as well, being the arm of that country, something like that too.
Or there's just like some guy who's banking us.
Yeah, like a rich guy who wants to see it all burned, apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah.
If we have you ever seen The Good Place?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to say any spoilers.
Well, it's not cyberpunk.
I'm serious.
So whatever.
Well, like, I guess not. No, I was thinking Janet.
You're thinking of Janet?
Yeah, but oh man, I don't want to talk too much about The Good Place.
Yeah. So you're thinking you want to be Janet or what?
Well, yeah, I was thinking should not go down this path because honestly, if people have not seen The Good Place, I should not go down this route because it's got good play spoilers.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, we can have you guys as like bankrolled by a benefactor of some kind or whatever. Or, I mean, a good way of sustaining yourself could even be like Men in Black style, right? Where you're like innovating technology and selling it to capitalism essentially, and then using that money to bring it down. Especially if you had a capitalist with you, right? Who was like, "Thank you for your technology and your donation. I will make it into something else
Yeah.
in my throat now."
On the consent question, I should probably just ask all of the players involved. Are people going to be okay, or would they prefer not for my doing things without your consent to you guys?
Depends on what it is.
So then that's consent. Okay. And we're good. Thank you.
Well, I personally trust you to do stuff with my character Shade because, yeah.
And Alex, do you have consent? Are we all shaky? Do you? You look quizzical.
Alex?
Alex?
I'm back.
Okay.
Talking about consent is last
We were.
thing I remember.
We were wondering whether or not how comfortable you are with the empath being able to do things to you, and you can say no.
Yeah, I'm all cool with that.
Which? Being able to say no or not being able to say no?
Oh. Yeah, I'm down for either.
Okay.
Do whatever you want.
My
Good to know.
emotions are your toys.
Excellent.
Yeah, pretty much. My emotion is your toy.
There we go. Yeah, your
yeah,
sickle
what?
emotion.
Yeah, I kind of like this too because like we can lean kind of heavily into like, are you guys as good as like the establishment even, right? Like do you go too far morally in order to burn it all down to to like do the ends justify the means in your rebellion as well, right? Like how good is that solution to capitalism as well?
Yeah, totes.
The whole consent thing with my character, though, going back to that,
Mhm.
could also like the object. I'm thinking of it being sapient or sentient at least.
Mhm.
So you would have to also go through the object, I think.
Right.
So that's why I say it depends.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh,
Don't touch your arm.
No touch.
Cool.
I have so now that we've kind of established this is where we're going to begin. I'm curious to see if people think that, and so I'm tossing it between like a mad apparatus who's just as pissed off as everyone, or at least like has the same mentality, but like sort of burn it down. Who's a bit more like skeptical and like stuff, or like. Oh no, I'm rambling. I'll shut up and just this thinking in my brain and stuff out loud.
Like, are you asking if people would be okay if you were like a frustrated, angry person?
I guess like yeah, does it make more sense to have a group dynamic where we're all like a bit burn it down, or is it more interesting if I'm like a counterpoint to burning it down?
I mean, probably.
Because I guess like
It feels like counterpoint would probably be good because
Yeah.
that'll create, tension.
different tones. Yeah. Because I was thinking like if I do start, because like obviously I'm going to unlock stuff as I go, and it's like if I start as the same as you guys and then break out into different emotions like joy and
And that's another option too.
power and stuff, like that's one way this character could go, where that would create sort of like tension over the course of play. Or
Right.
like immediately starting as like I'm a counter voice to everyone, and then I guess that might develop more into like, yeah, everything is fucked and like unlocking.
And we all lock
like,
into everything is
mad.
fucked.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm certainly down for either of those. I don't know what other people think.
I'm fine with theater as well. Alex?
Yeah. I mean, preview things more interesting.
Alex is breezy.
I swear I heard most of that.
Okay.
I'm also out of it. I'm sorry.
But it's funny though, because Alex, your video looks good all of the time. Like it doesn't seem like you would be breaking up, but then sometimes you just look very quizzical.
Weird.
Yeah, like your video for me at least is like perfect. So it's weird.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Like with Lauren, when
The
with her audio
yeah.
gets like that, then you can tell because her like video starts getting pixely and distorted and stuff. But with Alex, you just never know if she's gonna hear you or not.
Keeping it interesting, right?
Yeah.
You
What were
could
you
try
gonna
fiddling
say?
with the bandwidth. Alex, you could try fiddling with the bandwidth settings if you haven't already.
Oh yeah.
I was doing that, and now that I've put it up to higher, it seems to be working better now. So I'm not
Oh.
sure what that means.
I guess you allocated more bandwidth to it, so maybe that's better if you have the bandwidth. I don't know. Okay. So is everybody on obligation questions?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Who wants to start? Let's do one person doing all three at a time, and they work like second at Apocalypse World now, which, by the way, I wrote before Apocalypse World 2 came out, so no big deal. But you invite the other person to answer your question.
Hipster game designer.
Yeah, no big deal.
Before I was cool.
Yeah. Vincent, stop watching my videos. Yeah, so, okay, Alex, let's start with your character, April, and start with your obligation questions, and we'll do all three, and then we'll go to a next person, etc.
Okay, sounds good. So my first one is, if you've convinced someone else of your ideology, which is humanity should die / be turned into robots, and they believe it is to their benefit, you have one obligation on them. So I'm reading all three or deciding answers?
You throw it out, and then if somebody wants it, they'll tell you, and if not, then you just go to the next one and then continue on. But that would kind of essentially mean you converted somebody to this ideology, right? Before they didn't think it, now they do because of you.
Right. Anybody down?
I'm gonna put myself as maybe. So let's see what else is going on, but maybe.
Sweet as.
Lauren, what about your character having the veneer of believing that? Like,
Yeah, no, I was thinking that, yeah.
like you operate with these other people being like, yeah, totally, this is fucked, but in your head you're like, is it fucked?
I love that.
Okay, so how does what does the obligation go with on that one?
How do you mean?
Yeah.
Where
You have one obligation on them. Looks like.
Yes.
So yeah.
so you
I
convinced me that
converted you to my
everything's
cult,
fucked.
and thus I have power over you, essentially.
God, this is gonna go so well.
Yeah.
They're here for a good time, and Alex is part of a cult.
Hey,
What's
this
the
is
next
only
one?
the second time.
Yeah.
It's not
Hey,
a
what's
cult.
the next one?
That's right, the Church of Azana is very well respected. Alrighty. If someone else helped you develop your Omni tool with or for you, they have one obligation on you.
Me.
Oh
Like-
yeah,
Because
researcher.
I do science.
Yeah, high five.
I do science.
I do.
Arthur.
So
one
I have an
obligation on you.
obligation on April.
Yes.
Yep. And what's the last one?
If you have repaired someone's cybernetics when they didn't have the means to do so themselves, you have one obligation on them.
That seems like an easy one for me to take.
Sweet ass.
And do you guys want any fiction around these things? You can also put in the fiction when you call the obligation too, which might be easier as well.
Yeah. Why don't we go with that?
Cool. And next in my line is Lauren. Why don't you do the ones for, how do you pronounce that? Q?
I have no idea.
Okay. I'm gonna Google it.
I guess
What's the ethnicity?
a bunch of things.
Because then the pronunciation will be different based on probably. Is it Mandarin, Cantonese? Do you know your ethnicity, Lauren? Oh, are you gone?
I put down Indonesian. But
Indonesian. Oh, cool. Okay. See if they have that. Yep. Oh, no, never mind. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Instead, it was a video
I'm
on how
having
to do all pronunciation.
hmm. I feel like I should know some Bahasa because I do work with a couple of
In China, it's
books,
Chu.
but Chu. Yeah, I guess I could run with Chu.
Yeah, but it could be whatever you want, right? It is the future,
I mean-
so.
Yeah, I like Chu. Yeah, that's good. That's wrong with that.
Cool.
I'm also open to just like Q, or whatever you want.
Okay.
So I have, if someone found you, built you, or modified you since you were discovered, they have one obligation on you.
Either the catabolist or me.
Yeah, either one works.
So did you
Really?
find Q and then like also be like, here's the on button and it's like gives the max sound and then you're like, remember, everything sucks.
I think I'm April can have that one actually, if that's okay.
Okay.
And I'm getting a call.
So it's, oh shit, Alex, you've got two obligations on me now, right? Because that were, if they found you, etc., they have one obligation on you. So you've got two obligation on me.
Nice.
Mhm. Or modified you. Who knows? I guess we'll see if it
Or
comes
what
up.
about you? Yeah.
Maybe that's how I converted you to my cult.
Wow.
That's just so fun. I
So you
love
just
it
like
so much.
altered her programming and
It's like Salvation. It's like Salvation Army, right? I mean, like they're gonna bring you in and like give you food and stuff like that, and then convert you to their religion.
You
have to go to church.
If you confided your current view on humanity to someone else, you have one obligation up there.
your secret, what you actually think.
Yeah. Oh man.
Did you?
But did we
Is the,
decide on what you actually think? Is that...
Well, that could even be interpreted as like maybe one time you had a conversation with Imani where you were like expressing doubts throughout the episode or whatever, or what you were doing, right? Or something. And Imani was like, no, we're fucking killing these people or whatever, right? And you were like, I don't know if we should. And you're like, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
That works. So is that obligation which direction?
The seed of doubt
That goes
is planted.
to. I have one obligation on them.
Yeah, because you divulged a part of yourself.
Cool. And if someone taught you how to blend in or stand out, they have one obligation on you.
Wait, what now? What do you say?
If someone taught you how to blend in or stand out, they have one obligation on you.
I sense I could certainly show you how to blend in.
Like that.
Yeah.
So feel free to take a reciprocal obligation on.
Makes sense. You're partners. All right.
That's them.
Cool. And then let's go to Arthur and Rebecca then for obligation questions.
All right. Let's go to if someone keeps a secret about your object from that from th- okay. If someone keeps a secret about your object that could harm it or you in the future, they have one obligation on you. Anyone volunteers?
I mean, I'm a creeper, so I mean, it's totally possible
Sure.
that I kind of saw you with it, and I know something that.
Sure.
All
She
right.
did kill someone or Arthur did kill someone to get it.
No, that's the origin thing. Oh wait, no, never
see.
mind. If you told someone the precise origin of your object, which you have not told others, you have one obligation on them, which could also be Imani. Are you okay with that? Okay, cool. Only one and
So is that two that I have on you? Then?
no, that one I have obligation on you
Oh, okay.
for the origin one. And if someone has seen what happens to you when you are parted from your object and protects that secret for you, they have one obligation on you. Anyone else, or is it just Imani, all three of them?
What do you think,
Obligation
Alex?
for days.
Sorry?
Because
Well, I mean, if we're like squad separated or something, that could have happened.
Wait, who are you saying? April?
Yeah,
Or which one?
why not?
Okay, cool. You have one obligation on me.
Sweet as.
Yes.
Get that obligation.
On
and
Arthur
then-
specifically.
I'm the cult leader after all.
Yeah. Imani can't have it all, right? And then finally, Imani.
All right. If someone caught you manipulating someone else's emotions unbeknownst to them and didn't tell anyone else, they have one obligation on you.
oh my god, can that is that your robot partner?
Makes sense.
All right. If you use the flow to comfort someone through a difficult life event, you have one obligation them. I'm assuming that's supposed to be to them.
What? Where?
For the empath obligation questions, the second one is missing a T and TO. Or on, sorry. An ON.
Oh,
You have
yeah,
one
on-
obligation them. At least my copy.
yeah. Yeah, great. The haunting of the
Yeah,
layout.
yeah. The secret one had. If someone keeps a secret about your object from that could harm, so that one is also.
Yeah, I've changed that already.
Oh, that one's changed. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So much layout. Okay. Empath.
Did anyone want that one?
I'm down.
Okay.
I mean, like losing your face is a pretty traumatic event, right?
And finally, if you've used the flow to take solace or comfort in one another in a time of need for you both, you have one obligation on each other.
I'm fine taking it, but then I feel bad taking it.
Well, it's one on each other too, right?
Yeah.
Just remember that
Yeah.
when you call them in, you might have to use the fiction as well, right? Whenever you're calling in these moves, hit on the fiction first so that they know what the emotional pull is there. So you're not just like calling it an obligation. Let's do it.
So April was the one I have on April was to be fixing them up. fixing April, and Imani was I told them the origin. Okay, cool.
Okay. Everyone's good? All systems are go? Okay. So let's take like 4 minutes to make it 40, and then we'll come back and we'll get rolling, and you can think about your beliefs. Okay? See you at 40. I can always tell it's winter here when I start biting on my lips because it gets so dry, and then I just rip the flesh right off them.
That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah. It's just
Here I am, just like dripping sweat on myself.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. Wow. Nice. Here it's extremely dry. It's winter, and if I don't moisturize, I literally have had it last winter where I close my hand and it's so dry that it like pops the skin and it starts bleeding.
Oh,
Goodness
Yeah.
gracious.
So yeah, enjoy your life, okay?
yeah. I won't complain about it being humid and hot then.
Yeah. I'm in the Narnia. And kind of ironic given the adventure starter that we're doing as well. As Maria knows. Shame.
It's also getting to the point in Sydney anyway, where if you spend more than 10 minutes out in the sun, you get sunburnt. So that's been a fun experience as
minutes?
well.
Although
Yeah,
I'm pretty white, so really that's not surprising.
Only ozone hole business going on over here.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't have that as much. But I still get burnt pretty quick over here.
Pretty
It's rough.
vicious. Like the sun feels abrasive. Like, yeah. It was nice living like not in Australia, New Zealand for a year, not having to worry about sunscreen. But those days are gone for now.
Oh, I still have to worry about sunscreen. the white.
I could probably I don't know if I beat you, but yeah.
I don't know. You're too blurry. I can't see. You're blurry white, not crisp white like we.
Oh Lord, I was gonna check if you were in Ten Hidden Caves, which you are, Fraser. And then I look at the wait list and I'm like, holy shit, I am so sorry.
For what?
10 Hidden Keys.
Now, why are you
Because
sorry
it's
about
like
that?
6 people long.
Oh, really?
The wait list. Yeah.
Oh well.
What's going on?
There's a
Jason's Dungeon World game has a wait list of 6 people.
Yeah, the nice thing about all these like 100 new people or whatever, I'm not gonna feel bad about posting another Friday game anymore. I'm just gonna be like, I'm fine. Before I
That
was
one will
like, oh
take.
no. Yeah, before I felt bad because I didn't know Christo did his Friday things too, but both games were full anyway, so no big deal.
Yeah, apparently, they want us to hold off for a few more days before posting anything. So I haven't posted my January games or my February games yet.
Yeah, me too. I'm waiting. Okay, so also I'm digging that this is like a Blade Runner prequel because ultimately we know what happens with this cop duo team.
Only good things, right?
Yeah.
Wait to find out what happens.
Shane, you're sounding really windy again. Sorry.
Thank you for telling me.
No problem. So let's have it set in just like a nebulous city, right? Except we're going to have the aesthetic of 2049, so I think it's all very much... has people at least seen the trailer of that? Maria? No? What? It's very dusty. It's
okay,
overexposed.
you can just say it's dusty. I can get dust.
Dusty and overexposed, and here, I'm going to look for...
Well, I mean, the thing is, well, yeah. I guess it's... What do you mean by dusty, though? I mean, like... Because if we're having, like, the gigantic city, are we having this gigantic city under, like, the dust storm? Is that kind of an idea?
Yeah, I thought we were going to have, like, a mega corp... Or not a mega corp, a sprawling city, and then it have, like, a blanketed, like, dust storm that is kind of not always present, but is in a real way possibly always going, like it might roll through the city at some points, but it's not like permeating this town with like a dust storm. Like it's not Dune or anything, right?
Right.
People are cool with that. Also, Maria, here's an image board for Blade Runner 2049.
Wait, you have an image board for specifically for Blade Runner?
No. I just searched Blade Runner 2049 on Pinterest. Yeah.
Okay, so generic desert city. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But yeah. So in this like mega city, I'd like it to have like a lot of cultures bashed into it as well. So like if you're looking at street signs and stuff like that, you might see like Spanish, you might see probably like I'd like it more if there's even not even English, right? Like there's just a whole bunch of different languages on these neon signs that are blinking. And that's what informs the audience that like, hey, you're not in Kansas anymore when you're watching this film, right? Or which is kind of funny because Kansas has like the dust storms and stuff, right? But anyway, let's see. Let me pull this up. So yeah, we won't name the city. It's just X sprawl in the world that is assailed by these sandstorms from time to time. And I think that there is like some form of early warning system for these, sort of like if you lived in the tornado um, alley, right, is what it's called in the States, tornado alley, where like they have the early warning systems or whatever and people have to take off. It's like that, except that it's for these dust storms, and they're called nanostorms because there are rumors around that may or may not be believable to you that there's glowing blue eyes in the storm as it goes by. And I'm sure there's lots of urban legends about this already. So let's do as like the credits roll on this, you know, the veil, whatever, and we're going through the sprawl. I want each of you guys to tell me what we see in the city that makes it seem like it is high tech and low life. So high tech being, you know, we know that it's the future. Low life being there's some stratification of class, just like in a cinematic way as we're going through the streets. It can be anything, even like homelessness is a thing, that kind of stuff, right? Whoever wants to go first.
We still didn't do beliefs, but okay.
But do you guys want to do beliefs, or do you want to start with doing stuff and then have your beliefs informed by what we're doing?
Either way works.
This is cool.
Yeah, we can do it in media res, as it were.
Yeah, just make your beliefs as you see fit, and you have so if you have what I give advice in the book for is I would have at least one belief pertaining to another person that you're dealing with, like a player character, so that when you grind up against that, you can get XP for the session. And two, I would have something about like a what you would call it, like a philosophical kind of belief that you know that you want to be interacting with during the sessions. And three,
So, go ahead.
yeah, and three, I would make it like a belief that you or a goal in a way that you want to achieve your goal. So if it was like to get a replicant, your belief could be like, I believe in life first, so I want to capture this replicant alive because life matters, that kind of thing.
So
Or,
if you've done Burning Wheel,
yeah,
do that.
Yeah, if you've done Burning Wheel, do that, exactly.
Okay.
It's the exact same advice as beliefs in Burning Wheel, I think, or close to it. And a little bit easier than Burning Wheel probably too, because it's not like it can be just a statement that you want. It doesn't have to be like a 2 or 3 sentence thing that you need to interact with. What was that, Lauren?
Oh, are we doing so are we doing the media stuff? Are we doing beliefs now? Or
No, we're doing media.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Stuff, yeah.
So I have an idea.
Do it. Hit me.
You totally see someone slip shadily into like a second hand like cybernetics auto shop kind of deal, but it's like a bit pretty shady. Like and run down.
And with the stratification of classes, there is specific like marking on this thing that people know of, or is it like advertised in a specific language that is looked down upon, etc.?
Like this is not a legit place to go, like to go and get your stuff fixed up.
Could it be English?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so it's advertised in English that this is like, what is there? Is it blatantly obvious that it is a secondhand, like illegal shop, or is there like a cipher or whatever that people parse within this?
I like they did it as a cipher, like this, yeah, cybernetic speakeasy.
Cool. Okay.
There is a skeleton in the alleyway, but the skeleton has like cybernetic parts, and so
Okay.
it's clear that this skeleton was filled with cybernetic stuff before it was killed, and somehow it was just left there. No
Okay.
one wanted. Everyone forgot about it, and no one wanted to bury it or anything.
And it's also saying that like cybernetic parts and stuff is so ubiquitous that it's not even like worth it to like strip this person either, right?
Yeah.
So maybe one of the nanostorms, like maybe there's a rumor going around that one of the nanostorms got this person in the alley and like stripped them, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So on the stratification, I like the physical stratification bit of what if there are like there's transit like tubes and whatnot, but they are all like across the tops of these extremely high buildings, and like only the rich can actually use them, because only the rich live high up, and so can actually access them. Everybody else has to walk or drive cars or whatever, but the rich are able to kind of get around very quickly from place to place.
Cool.
I'm thinking the Futurama space tubes.
That's totally what I'm thinking of too, to be honest.
I don't know if Futurama is, but
well, Futurama, everybody uses them this
okay.
way. It's extravagant Futurama tubes.
Yeah.
And I think for my one, as we're like doing a drive by one of these tubes, we see into like a clinic. The inside's like all like bright white, everyone's in like pristine outfits, and we see like a family with a child leading them into a back room. And we see like a sign in English saying like cybernetics testing incorporated or something on the outside as it pans away.
Is the implication meaning that like corporations do their testing of new stuff on like kids, like people that like families would get money by offering their kids up to these like programs where cybernetics get tested and stuff?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. We are in a shitty city. Okay, sounds good.
Child testing.
Okay, cool. All right. So, do you guys know if you want to? Well, do you even know who it is you're working for? Do you guys have like a solid idea of that, or do you just like get these orders and get paid and you do it and you are like, you kind of know that you are being subversive in that the missions are usually about getting at like doing some kind of subversive thing in the city, or is it like an actual like blatant rebellion thing that is organized and you are a part of and like have a team to do these missions for?
I dig an unknown patron kind of situation.
Okay, so you guys like go do like integrated society like normal, but then you just like get paged or whatever, cyber paged.
Cyber paged.
And then you know group you get grouped together in this clandestine mission and go to, right? Is everyone cool with that then?
Yeah, totally.
Cool. Okay. Well, let's get some vignettes of you guys then. I want to see each of you guys in your daily lives, just like a short 5 or 10 minute thing of like where we would find you in the city, what you were doing, and let's say that you're like not on the clock yet, right? So you could be at home, you could be out doing something, whatever you want, and whoever wants to go first.
I'm watching TV with my object Rebecca. When and she's basically coiled around me. When I get the ping and I just look at the pager and she just slides into my arm, the storage arm, and then I close it, and then I
So,
start walking.
so does this, like, I was picturing it like a whip, right? So
Yeah.
is it like watching TV as if it was like a snake charmer
Yes.
doing a rope or whatever? Like it's just kind of like hanging there and
Yes.
checking out the hollow projector or whatever.
Yes. It
Okay,
doesn't
cool.
record anything, but so it's not like I can grab recordings from it, but she knows what's going on, kind of. It's weird.
Does Rebecca have like a favorite like show? Like
I'm not sure yet. She doesn't speak
okay.
that often, so and she seems to be content with watching whatever I watch.
Does Rebecca have like emotions like a normal person? Like if she was
Yeah.
upset or whatever, would you watch like a sitcom or something and then
Yeah.
she would like
Yeah.
visibly get calmed down or whatever?
Yeah.
All she really needs is some Seinfeld, right? Okay, cool. And is that all you wanted for your scene?
That's fair. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Good.
Oh, you go, Shane.
So I was kind of. I think we see. I'm trying to figure out which direction I want to go here. Either that she's basically like doing kind of therapy for the poor, or is like totally doing the uh, stalker kind of camouflaged watching like high upper class like therapy or whatnot happening. I'm kind of trying to figure one of those directions.
Oh, like you've managed to get into a room where the upper class people are getting like their bourgeoisie therapy
Mhm.
going on.
Exactly.
Okay.
Either
Yeah,
that.
I think both would be interesting. Yeah, I think that would be funny if you went the bourgeoisie angle though, because then you could even do the Rorschach, right? This city whispers to me, "Save me," and I whisper back, "No."
Okay, I like this idea. So yeah, I think I think we kind of see her in some kind of high class venue of where this is happening, and I think she just kind of hangs out there, and we see kind of patients come in and therapists go out, and she's just there, just like constantly watching and listening and recording.
Cool. What do you guys look like on screen too? I'd like to know that. Like fashion wise and whatnot, like what the camera sees.
My look is retro wear, handsome face, distant eyes, slim body, male Caucasian.
So retro wear, would that be like the typical plastic clothing?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Yeah. Where it's like bright colors, usually neon plastic looking, that kind of stuff.
I was thinking
Very
more
like
like trench coat, but I don't know if that qualifies as retro or something else?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, you can define retro wear.
Okay, so it's like trench coat, not hat because, well, not trench coat and hat, but I'm wearing like what would be considered a nice outfit nowadays, but it's the future, so it's not nice anymore.
Okay. So you've
Yeah.
got some nostalgia for that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm thinking basically kind of like, I don't know, kind of vintagey, like even as far back as like Victorian and or kind of like steampunky look, basically like with probably gray pinstripe kind of like waistcoat, short jacket, and I don't know, yeah, probably pants as well. Maybe a top hatty type thing, but I'm not sure.
So it's sort of like Victorian power business woman.
Something like that.
Okay, cool. And is this like mainstream culture? Is this like a subversive counterculture thing, hipster thing?
Probably counterculture and or hipster. I don't know. I don't think it's like mainstream because it's
okay.
I think it's pretty hard. It either is like custom made or actual vintage, which is probably pretty fucking hard to get at this point in time.
Okay, sounds good. Who wants to go next?
For vignettes.
Yeah, and make sure to tell me what you look like.
Awesome. Oh man, now I'm like, I'm torn there because like I was thinking kind of like, yeah, like retro wear as well.
No, that's fine.
But no, I kind of like pinstripe
Okay.
retro wear as well. If I take all of my cultural cues off of like the empath, but maybe I've got a diverse wardrobe that contains both. But I guess I was thinking like in my head, like retro bomber jacket with like the leather sleeves, but in like like a red otherwise. And I don't know, maybe some retro hipster skinny jeans if like hipsters kind of counterculture. Yeah. But then I kind of liked, let's go with that. That sounds good. And in terms of what they're doing, it's this like sickeningly annoying / sweet vignette of Q like maybe like feeding the homeless or like doing some kind of like charitable activity to tap into like the emotion they have, which is powerful to feel appreciated and like respected and faithful to this like core they have of like this is a good to have outside of like everything else is burning down, but this is like one of those like tiny micro moments where everything's okay.
Okay, which is kind of interesting because you like it's a selfish act that you take like enormous pleasure from, right?
Yeah, like it's charity on the face of it, but it's selfishly motivated.
Awesome. And the Aberril, you have a scene in mind?
I do indeed. So for Aberril, I was looking like go for like a generic biker look, so like leather jacket, probably like dark jeans, and for the throat, I was imagining like it wouldn't be a very good. What's the term? It wouldn't look like a human face. It'd be like all metallic, and so it should have like an old dusty scarf wrapped around upper body to try and like hide it during the day-to-day at least.
And is it all metallic, or is it like in the Pinterest? There's a few pictures like this where like it's so integrated that, like, you know, you've got a sort of carbon fiber neck thing, and then it comes up to like your chin or whatever, and then it's like human looking there, but then carbon fiber like all the way down there and whatnot. Is it like that, or is it like completely mechanical from throat to face to everything?
Yeah, it's something like completely mechanical from throat up to like bottom jaw. It's like everything from like here on downwards to like top of chest is mechanical.
Okay, I fucking have this picture. Let me find it. I like, yeah, I know exactly what is up. Go with your seed though, and I'll look.
My snippet, sweet as. So I was imagining like April just walking down like an alleyway behind one of the secondhand, whatchamacallit, cybernetic shops mentioned in the opening, and like ruffling through the skeletons and like trying to like pull useful looking parts out of their bodies and like feeding them into her throat, and, like it's spitting out like some garbled mess, and then just like throwing it to the ground and moving on to the next one. It's like scavenging through these dead bodies for any useful parts.
Awesome. I have more than just that one as well. I will find it later. So I concentrate. I have so many of those pictures with just like the neck part, because it's cool.
It's so cool.
And did you show on camera what your character looked like as well? Like their fashion and all that?
Yeah, I think there's at the start with like the biker outfit and the scarf.
Right. What color's the scarf? Is it like red on black?
It's got like a light brown.
Oh, nice. Subversive.
Something tatted I picked up to hide rather than like an actual scarf.
Awesome. Okay, so we get this like aerial shot, right, that we all made of going through the city and seeing these things, and then we get these vignettes of all the characters, and then it goes point of view into like another character. Like it at first the audience thinks that it's just one of you guys walking, but we quickly see as we look down that it's somebody else entirely, just by their way that they're garbed. They have like a red flowing I don't know how to describe it more than like it's too much robe and it's red. So it's sort of like if you had wrapped a robe around yourself a couple times. There's so much fabric there, right? And it's billowing, and it does not cover the face, but we can't see that because we're the camera right now in the point of view. And the feet are walking in what appears to be like a market. It's in the starter. It's called New Market, but think of it as just like a central congregation point. And the reason why so many people go here is because it is like a safe zone all of the time from these nanostorms that come through. There's a lot of fear built up in the community because of all this word of mouth about like, oh, if the storm gets you, it'll strip you. And apparently there's dead bodies around that are stripped, right? So people are like, oh shit, this is a real thing. But remember also there's the secondary rumors that have maybe not been approved or not about like the glowing eyes in the nanostorm, right? Like there's this real fear that cybernetic people and whatnot are being like appropriated by this storm and taken into it, and it's become like an entity. So these zones are a big deal, and of course a corp would have set it up in a place where you can buy shit, right? So there is like think Star Wars looking bots that like fly around, except that they expel a shield around them in this market. It's a pretty big place. Think of it as like a flea market in size that is very big. You can traverse through it easily. There's like a 2 or 3 streets. There's like vendors lining the place, and they range from like corp approved places to like maybe a little bit shadier ones that probably were just paying off the guards to be able to peddle some wares there, right? Like think going to like Dragon City Mall now in any city where you could buy bootlegs of movies and stuff, right? And they give the guards like a kickback or whatever. But one of the main tables here are these old men that are basically integrated into a table, is what it looks like. They're playing some kind of colloquial game that they're like the only ones that knows what's going on, because if you can tell that they're interfaced with the table in this game specifically because their eyes are like detached and up, and there's like a cybernetic panel there, and they have like a little visor plugged in, and they are watching. Yeah, thanks one shade. Yes, they are playing D&D. No, they're not playing D&D for sure. But yeah, they're plugged into this game, and the table's being manipulated at a very fast rate. So there's like a holograph that's being put up, just sort of like the Star Wars when they're playing that little monsters on that table or whatever. Except there's some very intricate thing that's flying by because it's like a cognitive game, and they've probably been playing it all of their lives. But the interesting thing is that there's also like a few things poking out of the table that you can just tell are eyes. Like it would be ubiquitous technology that you can just know without having to spout lore, huh? And essentially they're playing this game, but they're also like old men who gossip and look at the new market. They know everything that's going on. And the point of view of this character that we're following stops for a moment, looks at this game, and then continues on. And they look in the mirror. I don't have like a Pinterest thing of it, but picture sort of like the same ethnicity of what the Pinterest thing that I put up with the young, looks like Middle Eastern Asian kind of blend going on. Cybernetic eyes, so it's like got the Blade Runner red eyes going on, right? That you can assume can magnify and whatnot. And they have their neck and whatnot, just like whatchamacallit, April's character has, except it's not like, you can tell it would be like hand me down wear. Like, let's say that technology is getting to a point right now where all the systems and gears and stuff like that is faded away to a kind of like complex polymer that emulates flesh, whereas this person can't afford that. It still looks like that retro look, and so you know that they're not particularly rich. And each of you guys are here, I think, to keep an eye on this person. You were each paged, I think, probably as like a group mission. Their name is Ayush, and they are to be followed because they are the last of an order. Out of character, it's like an onomastic thing, right? They're the last of the onomastics, and it's a big deal in this world that we have because not only are they the last one, but think of them as like Jedis of archiving knowledge. This place in the future has gotten so permeated with knowledge and meta knowledge that there's like fake news and all that kind of stuff, right? So there's big business in verifying information from multiple sources, and the order essentially did this for people until a group of individuals or things that are nebulous at the moment took them out. And what happens is whenever a member of the order is taken out, they are, it's sort of like an event. It's like 9/11 or something, right? Where like something terrible has happened, and there's like an outward, they expel sort of like a raw recording of data that they have internalized throughout their entire years, right? So they have all this pure data that is worth a lot of money and is priceless, and for all people know, it's basically like the last one that you could possibly find, right? Because this order has, he's either the last one or they're all gone, what have you, right? So this person is very, very sought after and highly prized, and you wouldn't want them being repatriated into the system, essentially. And your organization, I think, is worried that the corporation has made this person as well as you guys through whatever means of verifying their identity and whatnot. And they're worried that a corp team is going to send like a grab team, like a black ops team or whatever, to take them out of the new market. And I think we could see this Ayush character walking through the markets. And I want to know from each of you how you have gotten close to Ayush throughout your time in the city. I think maybe you've been following him for, I don't know, like a few days at least, maybe a couple weeks, to like integrate yourselves into his life, something like that, or just surveilled him, etc. If you want to have been whatever in you want, you can have. Like maybe one of you is his lover, one of you is his close friend now. Maybe he attends services or something, or gives services as like a sort of priestly, knowledgeable kind of way, or whatever kind of fiction you want around this, you can have. I just want to know how you have gotten close to him in this time.
I want to say I've been since I'm a scientist, I would or researcher, I would like to say that we've discussed things like research, information, knowledge, and and we made small talk, and we sat on one of the, not necessarily the game table, but like one of the tables, and talk chit chat throughout the days.
So maybe like at one of those new market tables, you guys chatted and played that game or whatever. Hey,
Maybe.
yeah, and exchanged some information that way. Cool. So is it like?
All right, go ahead.
Is it like a regular routine that you have? Like, is on every Thursday week or every couple days or whatever, you'll meet and play hyper, chess or whatever.
Yeah, that
Cool.
makes sense.
Cool.
Did you have something, Shane?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I mean, just based on, I don't know if it looks like this, but kind of sort of based on the images you had there, I'm wondering if maybe he and I, our fashion sense is kind of similar. I kind of see like maybe we ran into each other at like one of these stalls or something like that, or ran into each other at one of these stalls, and like I complimented on him on his taste, and we kind of like started discussing that, and maybe now I found out that he goes to this every week or whatever, and maybe have also kind of gone to a few other like fashion-y type things that he's gone to, and I know that he is going to be here on this day because it's like a regular thing that he goes to.
Right. And do you guys try to like one up each other? Like,
I mean, I think we have slightly varying tastes, but yeah, maybe a little bit.
Like you show up one day with like a vintage, charcoal tie or something, and he's like, "Son of a bitch," right?
Yeah. No, I could totally see that.
Cool.
I can think of a really easy thing or a really complicated thing, which
Whatever
the
you
easy
want.
thing obviously the easy thing obviously being perhaps like Imani like introduced us. So like Imani and I were acidic that I like as well, and that way, which might be a bit easier. But I think like regardless, I think I like to think I'm quite intellectual, and he and I slow calf over an intellectual conversation about life and things and stuff.
Cool.
We're close friends.
Maybe I did the introduction, and then you guys kind of like hit it off, and I don't know, have coffee or tea or whatever it is on a regular basis now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like
Some
that.
chai latte. That's how you do it.
Which I have to figure out if I drink or not, but I don't know. I don't know if I can consume chai.
Yeah, apparatus problems, right?
I don't drink. Give it to me. That's
Okay, and Abram?
I think I started off with like doing surveillance. So it's like watched him through his routine for like a week or so. And then one day I noticed he was having issues with like some of his mechanical components. So I like walked up and feigned innocence, being like, "Hey, how are you doing? Do you need a hand?" Like fed his slightly busted eyeball into my throat. Spit it out new again to him.
So he knows what you could do then too, hey?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I like ingratiated myself that way and like became not close friends, but like good acquaintances.
And is it like a thing where you was he having mechanical problems, or did you make him have mechanical problems and then you paid innocence, right?
Oh, I like the second one.
Yeah, like where your born identity'd him, right? Where you're like, yeah, your belt is fucked up in your car, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. And then, since we don't have an onomastic, I want you guys to come up with what the iconoclasts are like. The onomastic plugin, or the onomastic playbook, is something that is perpetually like hunted by these iconoclasts, right? It can be whatever we think, but I would like us to build it together from the playbook because all the selections are pretty dope. I made them, so
If I do say so myself.
yeah. Onomastic. So let's see. Do we think the iconoclasts are? So they never stop. They've already taken the rest of the order. Under the disguises, they look like people or birds, angels or demons, your projected individual fear or fantasy, beasts or reptiles, shadows or pure light, machines or insects, the past or future of humanity, or something else. Is anyone super gripped by that?
I mean, I like possibly birds, possibly angels, possibly pure light.
Okay. Anybody else share in those selections?
Angels or pure light from the ones that Shane said.
Okay. They could be
That's
angels
pure
of pure light. Okay.
I don't know. I'll stop making references to this game where we killed like literally everyone.
Okay.
Oh, it sounds good.
Okay, so pure light, maybe from like a technical, and that's under their disguises, right? So maybe they reveal themselves to be pure light in order to literally not have people know who they are and find them via technology and whatever, right? Like maybe this pure light is even kind of like a virus or something, right? Like as soon as they reveal themselves, it is like a virus because everybody's got cyberized R's or whatever. It's like a self-defense mechanism, maybe, who knows. And so they look like pure light, but they have no faces. They have human faces. They have a face likened to an animal. They have empty holes or eyes. They have no expression. They're dripping gore. They make inhuman sounds. They don't stand on the ground. They speak only in your mind. They are made of strange materials. They have something attached to them. They come and go impossibly. They're invisible or imperceptible, and choose two.
I kind of dig human for being one if we've got a mutual like humans are really shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Or no faces. I just find that generally very creepy.
It's true. No face is no good.
I'm pro no faces.
No faces?
Faces.
Okay,
Sounds
and
good.
one more. Maybe Alex, you pick the last one because both of the other ones you've had to go along with.
Last one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to pass up the dripping gore because I mean that's just horrifying.
I like the dripping gore one as well. If you want that one.
So that's what
If
you want?
I'm cool with, yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so they have no faces and they drip gore and they're a pure light. Okay. All right. So let's see. From all your perspective scenes there, you get your sort of like cyber page, which I'm thinking is going to be like I read a book called Escapology, and what they explained it as was like IMing people via thoughts. So it's sort of like your mind is also called your drive, and your drive gets like kind of like a cell phone vibration, right? When you get IM'd, and then you just see it on your peripheral. So maybe something like that. If you guys want to modify it, that's fine too. But you get a message saying that everyone needs to converge on Ayush because there's some whatchamacallit, something the iconoclast has been spotted. Like maybe they show you footage of I know there's footage of the new market that gets fed to you, and I think there's just one word like go or something after this footage, and it is of those old men playing in the new market, and then I think one of them just turns and looks at the camera, except they have no face, and then the light reaches out towards the camera and it just becomes like whited out and goes all staticky and fuzzy, that kind of thing. So since it's a movie, we're just going to fast forward to you guys being at the market. How do you get to the market, though? Is there any cool ways of getting there? I don't want to skip that. Like, are there flying cars, for instance, in this Blade Runner?
I'm definitely taking a hoverbike.
A hoverbike? Okay.
I'm totally faking being rich, so I'm taking the tube.
Okay.
Nice.
Sounds good. It's being deposited at the new market.
I'm thinking because like we always want to imitate the higher stratums. Maybe there are like zip lines that the poorer people use.
Oh
like
yeah.
Rooftop to rooftop.
What about the zip lines? Like you could use a zip line as like a traditional zip line, or maybe you have like shoes that can rollerblade on these things too. Like
you can Heely down a zip line.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen this someplace.
Yeah, Heelys. That's definitely how I get there.
Probably a lot of games. Yeah. Okay. Also, in Blade Runner, flying cars are called spinners, just so you know. Maria, how do you get there? How does Arthur and Rebecca get there?
Bike.
Does the hoverbike? By the way, I have a Pinterest of a hoverbike.
That's fine. Hoverbike is fine.
Cool. Okay, so everyone arrives, we'll say like generally within the same moments. And I think when you get there though, maybe you guys arrive in pairs or separate, whatever you want. But you make your way to the point in which the market where he was, and there's just like there's nothing there beyond like one less old man playing the game at the thing, and the market is quite crowded. Like think overcrowded Blade Runner streets, right? So it's just like jam packed of humans, with maybe some portions of the market being less so. But this particular street is, you would surmise they would have stricken here because it is so busy, and they might have gotten mixed up in the crowd or whatever. It's a very good spot to nab somebody. So I'm gonna go around the table and see what everybody does. What does Q do?
If possible, I kind of think Q has surreptitiously taken some of this gentleman's like DNA and so could maybe like do a radius thing to see if like they're within a certain radius using their interface.
Okay. And what about Abril? Oh, you're muted.
Good catch. I think I'm gonna go to the old man, like to the table where they were sitting,
Mm-hmm.
and investigate around there.
Okay. And Arthur?
Arthur is going to look around for Ayush. Just
Okay.
in the crowd, or get to a higher position and then look for him.
Okay. And you have cybernetic eyes, was it?
No, I have the arm, but I'm just gonna try to get to a higher position and look for him.
Cool. Sounds good. And Imani?
I think I would like to use the search feelings move, if I could do that.
Ooh, that's cool. Okay, sounds good. Oh, also, well, maybe we'll table the beginning of session moves until the next game, I think, because that might eat up some time, and we're only got like 30 minutes left, right? So, okay, let's do. What do you guys think about? It sounds like pretty much everybody is analyzing in their own way. To me, does that make sense? Which is the analog for Apocalypse World would be like read a situation. Is that fair to say? Everyone seems
Yep,
positive.
sounds about right.
Okay, cool. Okay, so the way that works is you tell me how you feel, and then you roll with that emotion. So are people scared, panicked, etc. about the situation, keeping calm? Think about that. And we'll go in order of the Hangouts window. So Abril, how does Abril feel when she goes to confront these people at the table?
I'm just looking at the emotion wheel.
Yeah, sure.
It's so helpful. Yeah, I'd go for, I think, pensive. Like trying
Pensive?
to. Yeah, sounds good. No second guessing. Roll with peaceful.
Okay, sounds good.
With a 9.
9. So you get 2 questions, and I'll copy and paste them here. Also, if anyone is aiding one another, then that could bump that line of questioning up to a 10 if people wanted to do that. But it seems like everybody's doing their own thing. Yeah. Cool. Okay.
No love for Alex.
Okay, so do you have a question for me?
Sure. So I'm at the old man table. What, if anything, appears out of place?
So, what appears out of place is that the old men playing the game are still playing the game even though they are a person short. And as you maybe place your hand over the table, it runs into like a little small chip that is like a transmitter. So you can surmise whoever was there put a chip there to simulate a person playing, so the old people wouldn't like know what was going on and keep going. So it shows some foresight in this plan.
Alrighty. For the second one, I guess, what's my enemy's true position?
Good one. Let's see. What are your cybernetics?
I don't have any other than the throat.
You don't have any? Okay.
Let's start with them as a...
So there's like a giant hollow. It would be a television, but instead it's just like it actually is like a hollow projector, so it just looks like something on a screen in midair, basically. And I think it's cycling through different views of the new market, and I think you get a glimpse of Ayush like disappearing around a specific corner. And you would know where it is because you guys have traversed this place a lot, I'm sure, the market. Okay, so let's cut to the next person, who is going to be Q. And also, we can make these chronological in order too. So, Avril, if you want, you could relay that information to Q as they are about to proceed as well.
Definitely.
Well,
Cool.
I'm feeling pretty hopeful about this whole situation.
Are you?
Confident everything's gonna go fine.
So on screen, do you just look like sort of like a business person face, like your intent and going about it?
Yeah, definitely. It's I'm like analyzing the area for.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you have a
This
similar
mood.
location to work off of, right? So, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or somewhere around X place because they just saw them.
Oops, I think let's whack it onto audio. I kind of what's if Abril's like inside investigating, Q is like outside surveilling the market area kind of thing. So when this information gets relayed, it's like Q is in a position to go.
Cool. And you have cybernetic eyes, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, cool. So even on your HUD, maybe it's like searching like facial recognition and all that kind of jazz and stuff, right?
Definitely.
Cool. Roll it up for me. Also, Alex, make sure you mark the pip in your emotion on your character sheet.
Ooh, I got a 10.
9. Wow, you guys really like 9s. All right. Do you want to... It sounds... Well, I don't know. Maria, does it sound like your character would be working together in tandem with that in order to help, or do you want your own role
That's
analyzing? Fine. Yeah. So how are you? Because you're kind of like up top, and you're on the streets doing this visual stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I think that would make sense if you want to roll help.
Is that a state?
Yeah. What is your state? Are you
I'm
pissed?
no, I'm desperate.
You're
I'm
desperate. Oh.
I'm scared because it's like holy shit, where is he? Where is he? Where is he?
Mm.
Because this is a very important person, and we should not have kept our eyes off of him. So I am going to roll scared.
Cool.
And that is a 6.
Okay. Mark XP.
It's okay, I got a 10. I have a +1 to powerful.
Oh, nice.
So that was completely useless.
Okay, well, yeah, Mark XP, and then maybe share the questions. Then is that cool?
Sure.
So, Lauren, you ask a question, and then Maria, and then Lauren again, maybe.
Yeah, awesome. I kind of want to like use the what's my best way in as like a sort of how can I follow this the enemy that Abril is like relayed to us.
Okay. Maybe let's say that you know that there is like a hollowed out place between the alleys used by like merchants to move their stalls and stuff like that, but there's hollow projectors there, so it just looks like a thick wall. But you know that you can cut across.
The 9 3/4. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. And Maria, do you want to ask a question?
Since I'm scared shitless, how is this going to get better or is this going to get worse before it gets better?
Yeah, it's definitely going to get worse, especially because you rolled a fail. Just kidding. But yeah, it's getting worse before it gets better because I think from let's have in the fiction, Q just ducked into the alley with you correspondingly saying like this person just got like you just got a glimpse of Ayush around another corner, right?
Yeah.
And Q darts into that place to try to like cut them off. And you see through like we get like a cinematic moment where you're make eye contact with Ayush and it's like a slow motion thing as he's going around the corner, right? And you see that like he's bleeding from his temple because he's been hurt a little bit. And then last question.
What, if anything, appears out of place?
I think what appears out of place is the you zoom in and you're like scanning with direction from from Arthur. I'm gonna have to next time we play. I'm gonna make you guys put your names up there. So Arthur's relaying that information exactly where they saw him get hit and going across the corner and whatnot. You look in, you zoom in, right as the same slow motion goes away, and you see that like on the floor there's like a crumpled bit of clothes, and this person has shed their like old man persona, and you get a glimpse of like bright light to see that, and then it's covered again as like robes are wrapped around it again, and they're moving fast towards an exit, I think.
That's okay, I'm fasted.
Okay. Imani, search the feelings.
Yep. Okay. Let's see here. What am I rolling with?
Let's see your move here. Search feelings. Just roll. So roll with whatever emotion that you're feeling at the moment.
I am irritated.
Seems legit.
Yeah. I'm like, this was planned. Where is he? Why is he not here? Let's see here. So that is mad? Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Oops,
She
sorry.
mad.
Oops, I did this wrong. Nope, I'm not spiked. Damn it. Okay. There we go. All right. Right, rolling. Where's the roll button? Roll dice. Difficulty normal, sure. Attribute mad.
Boom. That's some good shit.
All right. So on a 10 plus, you get +1 flow. Woot. And the MC will give you accurate emotional detail tied to events that happened here.
Cool. So, give me the fiction of what this search feelings looks like. It's the first time we're seeing it on camera.
I think we see her. Trying to figure out how extreme we want to go. I think we kind of see her go into like some kind of like vague fugue state. Maybe see her eyes like fluttering and or possibly like kind of rolling back into her head. And I think we see probably kind of colors and whatnot for the most part, just moving and flowing all around the market, and kind of her somehow being able to kind of filter some of those out towards something specific, something useful.
Okay. So I think, you cast this visual net, and I think in the spot that he gets nabbed, you get the emotional residue of like pure fear, right? You can tell me what that looks like after, but the fear I think is like a stench that you can trace. Like the camera pans with your point of view vision as you're scanning the place, and you're seeing this line, and I think as you're scanning, you're seeing like all your comrades whipping into action and looking for this person, yada yada.
Yeah.
And you see an exit, which is like going to be some nondescript thing, and you see the iconoclast, and I think what you see, you know that they're an iconoclast because I think they're like the pure light, right? Like you can see that light. And it also is interesting because that means it's sort of like shield from you for its emotions as well, right? But you can still see it. And the light is, I think, we'll say on a 12 plus 2, I think you're the closest one to the entrance that they are, or to the exit that they are going to. And everyone else is whipping into motion as well, but I think you'll be the first one to act on it as a reward. So what do you do?
Um,
Oh, and Ayush is being like dragged and still has the the stench of fear on him.
and so I see. And how many are there?
Just one.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I mean and they're dragging him. So this is pretty
Well,
blatant.
like he
Or you're saying kind of manhandling him to
like
okay.
he's on his feet and being like aggressively shoved and moved in that direction, and he's staggered, right? Like he was hit in the head because he wasn't cooperating, and now he's sort of like stunned, following. Okay, I'll do what you do, like do what you say, just because you hit me, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna head over there and try to kind of I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna. Yeah, I will go up there and try to. I'll like say, "Oh, Ayush, who's this friend of yours?" And kind of stall them basically before the others can get there, so that the others can get there.
Okay. I think you're taking a risk, and the risk is that the iconoclasts just like go straight for you and eliminate like a threat, essentially.
Sounds good.
So it's another just tell me how you feel and roll situation.
Let's see here.
What kind of ploy is this for you? Is this like a desperate thing? Or contained, or
Yeah, this feels. What is contained on this list?
well, you can associate it to whatever you want.
Gotcha.
They're feeling with like a guide. Even if you thought that one of those things should pertain to a different emotion for you, you can totally do that.
Gotcha.
It's just like it's very as other people have pointed out, it's very neurotypical as well, right? Like
yeah.
So
actually, yeah, I think it's I think it's going to be confident.
Okay.
Which is horrible because that's my -1.
Okay.
So this will be wonderful. So, was I supposed to have bumped up my mad or anything like that, or no?
Yeah, when you roll with it, you put a pip in the mad one.
Okay, good. So now I'm rolling. I am normal. I am using the attribute of powerful, and nothing special. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I think what happens is you go up to Ayush and you start doing this plan, and you assume, I think, maybe that the iconoclast is going to maybe not get violent in such like a public place.
Right, try to be subtle.
Yeah, I think you underestimate how much they want this person, and you take like a kinetic discharge in the chest, which is just like a blowback kind of thing, right? And it's 2 harm, but armor counts if you have it.
I don't think I have any armor.
So you take 2 harm and you go flying back, probably into some people, kind of thing, right? And on screen we see it sort of look like a force bubble or whatever hit you. And let's see. Yeah, and then mark your emotion. I think we have time for one more action. The person closest would probably have been Q, I think, right? You were up on the, like Abril was up on the building and stuff, right? Were they, Alex?
I was inside. I think it was Arthur on the building.
Yeah, I was on the building, and Avril was with the elders, so
Oh, with the elders, yes. So I think it would be Q. Q, you see like a kinetic discharge, and Imani goes flying back into the crowd. There's shouts, there's screams, and maybe the bubble turns red or something. Like red alert happens, right? What do you do?
I think we see Q just like making a beeline toward the person that we're trying to protect, and it has that very unhuman quality of and powerful as they stride towards the iconoclast who's apprehended their dear friend.
Okay.
And I think Q will say something to the effect of like, it would be in your best interest if you unhanded this individual.
Is it an ultimatum? Like you'll shoot them if they don't do this right now?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So unhand them or you dead, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But I'd say with a lot of charisma
And the important distinction too is with ultimatum, just like go aggro in regular, is if you like you might be forced to actually do this, right? So make sure that the ultimatum is actually what you want to do, because they might force you to shoot them.
I wish I'd done my beliefs though. I a bit into my beliefs.
Well, you can put one down if you want, but yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's an ultimatum. I think I will.
Even if your belief was something like I don't harm humans, the iconoclast might not be human anyway, right? Like nobody probably knows what exactly they are with their disguise and place and whatnot.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think the ultimatum is like, let them go, or I'm gonna shoot you / like beat you up because I'm.
And what's the weapon that you're using?
I don't know.
But do you have gear?
I think pretty I didn't put down any gear. I forgot. But I feel like it's gonna be something pretty discreet. Like I don't. I feel like Q is more of like would be more physical combat, sort of taking stuff down.
Okay. Sounds good.
That way.
Okay.
So maybe it's more just like, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you if you don't do it.
Okay. Roll it up.
I got an 8.
All right. So for that means 7, 8. They also have these options. They make you hit them. So do your damage and give me the fiction.
Awesome. Oh man, I kind of like the idea of so they're not going to let go. Like I have to fight them.
Yeah, they push Ayush behind them to like make sure he doesn't get hurt or whatever, and then they like are about to attack you, but you do your damage first.
Okay, so I kind of love the idea of so like it's me and them squaring off against each other, like pretty close at this point, and I like the visual of the iconoclast like a soft hit in like across the face, and then you get that sort of very robotic like they lean with it and then like click back and then just like face.
Okay. So it's very like CQC type action going on. Okay, and how much harm do you deal the iconoclast then?
I have no idea. How do I figure that out? Sorry.
Well, did you put any tags in your body for weaponry or anything like that? Let's look at your playbook here.
No, I'm very surveillance-y, so I shouldn't be punching people. But
okay. Okay, so I think you're just punching them. Is your hand cybernetic?
I like to think it is.
Okay,
yeah.
So yeah, I think that it lands with like a satisfying metal crush on their jaw. And they like do the stone cold thing where they just like move their head right back, and then there's a screaming noise that erupts from like their face, which is not a face. Like they have a disguise back on, so it's all just robes, and so the robed head moves to the side, and there's like a wailing, screeching sound that is like deafening, and then we have to stop. Because it is time. All right. So everyone that rolled a failure, make sure that you mark XP. And anytime that you made a roll, make sure that you're marking the pips. And if you're mad and peaceful, cancel each other out. Sad and joyful, cancel each other out. And scared and powerful, cancel each other out. So if you rolled one with the other, then you can delete one pip from the other one. All right.
I don't fail.
Yeah.
I'm just really good at what I do.
Yeah. You were very good at punching someone you shouldn't have punched because you're not good at that. That's good. All right. And that is where we had to stop the session. Okay. Let's see. So does anyone have any ideas for beliefs as well? Or people can just fill them in until next session or something like that too. But when you do, don't forget to tell me what they are next time if I forget to ask, because it is important. All right. And yeah, do people have time to do feedback or anything, or?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm good.
Okay, I guess we'll just do the rich approach and do the roses and thorns and start with thorns so it ends on roses. Okay. So thorns for me, I think I could have maybe guided you guys a little bit faster at character creation, maybe, but I don't know. Anyone who's played with me before knows that I'm all about the world building, so I don't mind it taking a while. Some people, if it's not their cup of tea, though, then they're like, damn, we need to get at this, right? So if you felt like that, I'm sorry. And then we'll go in order again. So, Alex, what is your thorn?
Oh, goodness. Oh, can I pass for now? Might need a minute.
Sure. That's good, Lauren.
Oh man. No, I every time I've played the Veil, I've had a really hard time coming up with any thorns. Like I feel like I'd just be creating a thorn for the sake of creating a thorn. So I don't really have any thorns. I'm sorry.
That's okay, Maria.
This is partially on me, but the whole touchstone thing, I feel like we could have done without touchstone and just say, okay, here's what this is like, without having to go through the touchstone, because I wouldn't know anything if you just said the touchstone. Like like if you said, oh, this is a dusty big city with a marketplace that is safe from nanostorms, I'd be like, cool, let's do that. But if you say, oh, this is Blade Runner, then I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
True, but we got to the dusty old marketplace from other people saying Blade Runner, though.
True. True. It's just, for example, I wouldn't maybe lean too much on the touchstone.
Sure.
I think the feedback is that not everybody has all of those, and especially if you were playing with like someone from another country or something like that, like someone from South America or something like that, they would not probably have that stuff.
Right.
Puerto Rico has that stuff. It's just fucked up right now, specifically.
Right. So Shane?
I'm trying to think. I think really the only thorn is, as someone just coming into this and not having prepped a whole lot, it looks a lot overwhelming, but I can kind of sort of sense that it's probably going to be just fine. But it definitely the playbooks and whatnot. There's a lot of information and a lot of choices and whatnot to make. So I'll be interested to see how all that plays out. But it definitely felt a little a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of upfront stuff going on, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's why in Cascade, it's playbooks are not like that. I listened to the feedback and went like more emergent on the next one. But yeah, totally. And then we'll do reverse order. So if you want to do a Rose as well.
Yeah. I think. I mean, 2 would be I definitely dig the emotion stuff, which seems really cool. Especially that, like, I like that we have the you're not going to veto like our choice, and that it's like based on that, which is really cool. And then along similar lines, I like the idea. I don't know if it's in the book or if it's just your GMing style. I like that we can kind of make choices about things during the fiction and not like having to make all the choices at character creation and being like stuck with that. Like coming up with beliefs later and like assigning numbers later and choosing all of our moves as we see fit.
Yeah, that's all in the book. I'm not sure if people do it that way, but I think it helps a lot because how many people make a character and just have like a super clear idea of exactly what they want at that moment, and it will fit the fiction that we're going to build after that as well, right? So,
Totes.
Maria?
For roses about this session or about in general, or
Whatever you want.
because I do uh it's hard for me honestly for to say a rose right now because I'm so out of it. But I do enjoy the game itself. Like I've played it twice before, so it's a good game, and I will encourage Shane to keep playing because it is a good game, and you will get into it. It is easy once you pick it up.
For sure, for sure. Thanks.
Yeah.
And Lauren?
I mean, where do I begin? It's so I always have a lot of roses to give out to everyone. You guys are all awesome people, and I love the little like built with the two characters. I love world building, so I think the fact that we spent an hour creating really beneficial. I think it probably helped solidify a lot of our thoughts toward culture and visual references as well, which then made it a lot easier to jump into the first scene, since I know personally I had a really clear idea in my head of like what this marketplace looks like and people that would be running around there and stuff. So I'm always happy to do an hour of world building. I also like picking up moves as you go. Since too many times I've picked a move that hasn't come up in play or whatever, so I like the flexibility just to make up stuff as it comes fun. I'm really excited that we're doing beliefs after this session, and I really can't wait to see how all of this unfolds. I like being a powerful apparatus is like really different to being a peaceful one, which I really dig. I think it's going to be a different experience. And this annoying narcissistic robot down a dark path toward sadness and
Darth Vader.
Yeah. So no, I'm so buzzed about this whole mini campaign we're doing, and so thank you for running it.
Mm-hmm. No problem. And Alex? And a thorn if you want it.
Thought of one. I've got one. Yes. It was about the narrative storytelling. I really liked when you did like the whole everyone tell us something interesting about this scene kind of thing. It's like it's fun being able to influence the fiction even as a character, because usually in all the other RPGs I've played, it's like this has been the world, it's very strict. You do what the GM says. Like having that slight freedoms to like add your own flavor was really fun to me. And we got Healy zip lines.
Yeah.
Best.
Although that was me interjecting that on what you thought of, but yeah. And do you have a
I had the
thorn?
veto right?
That's
Freedom
true.
of choice.
That's true. You could be like, no, fuck Heelys. I don't like them. And did you think of a thorn as well or no?
No, I'm sorry.
It's fine with me. So, roses for me, everyone, I think the chemistry is going to be really great with this crew. We didn't have too many, we only had like 45 minutes of actual fiction or something like that. And I built a lot of it up in the beginning, telling you what was going on with the situation and stuff. But I can tell that I think the way that you guys are pointed at each other and the type of players that you are, we're going to have a great time. And yeah, I think you guys were patient and really giving with that last scene, right? Because the jumping in cold into in a basically like you fucked up, let's go thing is it takes some giving players. There could just as easily have been players who were like, I don't think I fucked up actually, right? So I'm glad that you guys are on board, and I'm excited to see where the fiction goes. I think everyone did an awesome job characterizing and telling me all about their characters and everything. I'm into it.
This is neither rose nor thorn, but I'm actually really looking forward to some interpersonal scenes that come off of this fuck up. I want to see how the empath and the apparatus like debrief after this mission, because really fascinating piece of dialogue.
And I mean, yeah, we have some interesting stuff to jump into right away. There's some shit going down. So sweet. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the broadcast.